Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing? Welcome. Welcome, everybody. All right, my name is Anikesh, and we are meeting for the first time. So, I would like to introduce myself. And I have been working in the corporate world for the last 15 to 16 years, and I've been doing multiple hats as a product manager, consultant, business analyst, started as a developer. Also, I've been a successful musician for the last couple of years, and I've been playing music all around the world. And I have started something very new, which is Design Sprint Go. And the intention of is to get to meet as many people as we can and talk about something which is not transactional. Now, that must be a topic which is like, what does it mean, transactional? Are you really crazy? Are we transactioning any money? No, we're not. So what I mean transactional is the world is in such a fast paced. Everything is going in a real rapid pace because AI is there, ChatGPT is there, Claude is there, and everything else that you see is available and it's really fast. So, and somehow or the other, we are actually losing connection. We are losing to say, hey, how are you doing? To strangers, even. It is really hard for everyone to ice break that those kind of conversation. It's because everything has become so transactional. Nowadays, if you remember back in time, I'm a millennial kid, so late 80s, early 90s, we used to have telephones, and before even telephones, there were letters, and then telephones came in, and we could hear our loved one voices. And with the advent of telecommunication and engineering, internet boom happened, and over the period of time, everything becomes so fast. Now, even you know, I just remember one day I sent a very deep message to somebody, and the response to that was not through a call, not through a message. Well, first I tried calling the person and, you know, hey, I'm busy. Can you please send me a message? So drop a message. And guess what? The response was just a like on the message. So we have become very transactional, and it is not because we are doing something wrong. It's all because everything is how it is being made. World is in a very fast pace and we don't have time. And the reason why I'm here today is to talk about that. And the topic was you're born in love. Now just imagine. Now you're wondering, and there's an opportunity for all of you to think about it. Just imagine and remember the first time when you celebrated your birthday, or you remembered your birthday. I remember my first birthday when I think I was 2 or 3. When I was 12, that was my birthday, 20th of April. So please wish me on 20th of April. Now, before that, before the age of 3, I never knew that my birthday was on 20th of April. The reason behind was, first of all, I didn't know how to comprehend things. Maybe didn't understand the language or anything. But most importantly, when I was born, when I was coming out to this beautiful world, time was constant for me. Now, what it means, there was no time, it was timeless. And I just realized that overthinking, it's actually a truth that when I was born, at that point in time, I had just pure consciousness of breathing through crying, obviously. And I knew there was something called as gravity because matter existed. Because I could not get up from bed, let's say, when I started crawling or walking, I used to fall down because there was gravity. Gravity is there. Then I could, slowly open my eyes and then see colors and see lights. Because I think till the age of 3 to 6 months, you start forming your vision. The only thing that worked was sound, which was vibration again. But again, in that journey, time is still constant because I don't know what time to wake up. I didn't know what time that I'll cry, what time I'll take a shower, or nothing. I think that was the best period of my life, to be honest. And over the period when I grew up, there was routine, there was timely manner that I came to know the day is between this hour to that hour, and night is from this hour to that hour. Now, just imagine all of this putting together in perspective. The reason why, again, I'm talking about time, and I'm an engineer, and I like mathematics, and I like physics. And if you remember or if you know anything about Einstein and the theory of relativity, E equal to mc squared, the formula, which I could not solve in my engineering days or physics days. It was like the toughest equation, to be honest. And if my engineering friends and my STEM friends are watching this, they would realize that yes, it's one of the toughest equations. But remember one thing: E equal to mc squared, T was always constant. Time was constant. So time was invented by all of us, basically, to measure things. Right? Now you go to your job and you have been given a task. The question that been asked to you is, how much time do you need to complete that task? And I truly believe that as time is constant, all of the biasness or the societal norms or things which is good versus bad was developed by our brain because our brain works in a certain mechanism. If I divide our brain into few parts, and I'll show you as well through drawing, probably to be easy. So your brain is divided into four components: your lower brain, your higher brain, your higher self, and your collective conscious, which is universe. You can say that. And then your lower brain differentiates into pain versus pleasure, and you have the nervous system below that. So you have your lower brain, then you have your higher brain, then you have your higher conscious, and then the collective conscious. And the lower brain is divided into different nervous systems, right? Now, putting that into perspective, I will share my screen shortly. Today's topic of discussion, and this is a series that's going to happen every month. So I'm going to start with a very basic concept that how does the lower brain functions, when it started, and then what does higher brain do? What is your higher self? What does it mean? And what is collective conscious? Very simple. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen quickly and see if this works. Into that. Share my screen. There we go. All right, let me know if you can see my screen. I can actually see it myself. Yes, few people have given their thumbs up. All good. All right. Okay, now that's welcome. Welcome everybody. What we're going to do is I just open my whiteboard over here so that we can do this exercise together. Okay. I'll just zoom out a bit so that it's visible. Okay. Now, this represents different parts of your brain. Not really. I was just kidding. All right. So this is your lower brain. This is your higher brain. And this is your collective conscious. Sorry, my bad. This is your higher self. And this is your collective conscious. Okay, I think my screen is coming up. So I will just move this over here. If it is all visible, perfect. All right, so lower brain. This actually develops first. Number one, when you are born, at that time, the lower brain develops first. At the age of 22 to 24, your higher brain gets developed. Your higher self, which is always available, by the way. So this is timeless, infinity. And your collective consciousness, which is your universe, this is again infinity. It's always there. Okay. So you have your lower brain that gets developed when you were born. Then your higher brain gets developed over the period of 22 and 24. Your higher self is always there. Your collective consciousness is always there. All right. The function of lower brain is basically to differentiate between pain versus pleasure. All right. Pain is negative charge and pleasure is positive charge. Okay. I'm going really slow so that it all gets, engraved in our brain, which is our higher brain, obviously. 0 years. Okay. Now, as you know that as I said, your lower brain differentiates between positive and negative, or pain versus pleasure. Your higher brain is basically, the job of a higher brain is to integrate and give meaning to all of those parts. Okay. Now, what it means is, let's say, I'll draw with some other color. Okay. You had an event. Okay. Can be any event, right? Let's say you got low score in your exam. All right. And you had to come back to your home and you have to share that news with your parents. Now, in the past, when you got low score, you might have got some scolding. Dad and mom were not very happy. Society was not very happy. People were saying, oh my God, you are a failure. What are you going to do in your life? Your life is doomed. All of that happened. So that registers a negative experience. Now, somehow you found a mechanism that, let's say you have got a low score and you want to add, let's say, 2 more points to that, and you share that information with everybody else in the society. You just kind of hide your score, let's say. Okay, I'm not preaching you should hide your score or anything. Just and let's say you did that, and by doing that, somehow you had a positive experience, saying that, oh wow, that worked, that formula worked. And your higher brain, which has not created any meaning yet because you're still a kid, right? You have established a pathway to find out how you want to turn a negative experience into a positive experience, because your higher brain was not developed, right? Could not figure out, what is what. You just need pain versus pleasure, that's it. Now as you grow up, you know this highway that if an event happens, if I turn it into a positive experience somehow with some other mechanism, my whole experience will be positive, because that's your highway. You've created that highway. Now just imagine when you are adult, because you have that highway, you have already developed a lot of different sort of, biasness, fear of judgment, fear of telling the truth. You start lying. And that's how the whole experience gets developed. Now, this is my own story. Okay. Whenever I used to get less number to make sure that in the society, I can be the best. So I just increased my number by two while speaking, with confidence and with sincerity, with generosity. I used to say, yeah, I've got 18 out of 20, though I've got maybe 15. Just three numbers. How does it matter? It didn't matter at that time because I had a positive experience. What mattered was later, you know. But at different phases of my life, I started just adding few more flavor to my topic, and people might have thought, "Oh, this guy is a show off," you know. Then labels, more labels. To hide one label, I tried a pathway, and there were more labels coming on me. It's like, here we go. He's a show off. He's a talker. He's this. He's that. Okay. Now, how do we make sure that we are aware of this and it's okay to have both the feeling or both the charges? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Because remember, I talked about your higher self, and your higher self always tries to bring everything to equilibrium or balance. So whether you have more negative or more positive, whatever it is, your higher self will slowly bring it together. It takes time, but it always tries to create that balance, because that's how the nature works. There's always balance, right? Sun rises, moon rises, there's gravity, and there is everything else around gravity. So what I'm talking about is about your energy or your matter, which is, if you remember the formula that I was just mentioning, and I'll go down a bit, just mentioned here. So I spoke about the formula, theory of relativity, E equal to mc square, where E is your energy, like this is the power button, energy. M is the mass or matter. C is speed of light. If I divide it into two parts, speed of light, or it's measured by frequency into wave length. I hope you understand that. This is nothing but your vibrations. Okay. Now, what does it mean? It means that the only thing that matters is energy. And you have matter, and you have vibrations. Okay, so you have energy, you have matter, and you have vibrations. Okay, and this is how the whole telecommunication works. Like, I am live streaming right now. There's an energy inside me which is talking. It is getting converted into a sound. There is a wavelength and a vibration going to this microphone. Microphone picks it up, converts it into an electrical pulse, send it through my computer to the Wi-Fi. Again, there's wavelength and vibrations over there, and then it goes all the way to wherever you're watching and you're downloading, converting, and you're listening again. So all of this that we're just discussing is your energy, your mass and a matter or matter, and your vibrations, right? So basically, there is nothing called as time. Time is something that we have created. Now, as I said, so how do we have both of these charges together? Okay. How do we do that? It's very simple. Every day when you wake up, whatever feelings you have, you just need to tell yourself it's okay to have that feeling. Very simple, yet very hard. How is it okay? I don't have money in my bank account. How the hell is it okay? It's okay. You don't have money in your bank account or your credit card bill is very high, which you have to pay. It is okay. The reason because you have that much of abundance. That's the reason why you have that much of credit card bill. And when you pay your bill, just remember one thing. Just feel proud that yes, I can pay my bills. I can do whatever I want to do, and I'm spending that much of money because I am attracting abundance. So, as I said, the way you can create that little bit of more space inside yourself so that your higher brain can work together to your higher self. Because you remember, as I said, your higher self is slowly bringing you back into equilibrium. Just take a deep breath in and sit with it for a while and slowly release. And just tell yourself it's okay to feel certain way. And you don't have to hide that feeling or you have to shove that feeling somewhere. I'll deal with you later. Men's usually do that. I'm generalizing it because yes, we do that. Our nervous system is built in that way that we say we will deal with you later things, and I'll stop sharing what I'm talking. And that's how we have been, you know, built. So all it's very easy, simple. Just sit with yourself. If you like journaling, just journal it out. If you like to express your feelings through paintings, just do it. You do you. You like to network with somebody, just do it. Or you don't like to do anything and just sit quietly and watch TV, do it. The only thing that I am doing when I am having certain kind of uncertainty or fear of failure or anxiety or any sort of that feeling, I'm just accepting that feeling. It's my feeling. And I'm sitting with it and I'm just telling it, it's okay to feel that way. There's nothing right, there's nothing wrong. It's my feeling and I can handle myself. So, in conclusion, your positive and your negative charges are your charges. So feel free, and feel proud about yourself, about of whatever you are, whoever you are, however you are who you are. And you're a sum total of everything. You're positive, you're negative, you're neutral, whatever charges, right? Remember one thing, and I think positive plus negative is zero, which is neutral. So avoiding a particular state or a part may not be that easy, but accepting it is very easy because it has always been your part. And in the upcoming sessions, we will go through and we'll see how we can actually integrate the parts. When I say parts, your positive charge is a part, your negative charge is another part. Okay. To put it in a simple way, any feelings that you have is a part. So you must be wondering, okay, Anikesh, I'm feeling very angry today. Is it a part? Yes, absolutely. The question that we would like to ask in our upcoming session is, what is the purpose of you being angry, or you being sad, or you being not very happy, or you're anxious mind, or you're confused about a decision, anything? What is the higher purpose? And when you think from that angle, higher purpose, that's how your higher brain and your higher self work. And I haven't actually touched much about your higher brain, higher self, your conscious self. That'll be in the upcoming sessions. So I hope you learn something new, and feel free to put it in a comment. And if you're watching this video later as well, feel free to add some comment. My website is also up there if you want to connect with me and have a one-to-one conversation. Not transactional though, it's going to be transformational. How? I'm not going to just like your message with a thumbs up because I'm going to have a real conversation. So if you really want to have a real conversation, if you want to, figure out how all of this work together, Anikesh, how can I go from point A to point B? Am I meant to do that? All of that, I'm all ears for you. So I hope you like this video. Please share it with your family members, friends, colleagues, friends, anyone, if you feel like. And we will catch up again in a month's time on 26th. And this is a series that I've just started. And thank you so much for being with me in this journey. And we will have another round of discussion with you in a month's time. Till then, enjoy the charges that you have got, guys. Because remember one thing, all of the charges are your charges. And you are in charge of your charges all the time, everywhere, anywhere. Thank you, and have a good evening, good night, or good morning. See ya.